how to compare that supreme love compared to the worldly love. Supreme love is the highest, is the greatest, it is limitless. Worldly love is inferior, and worldly love is directed towards the objects, the beings, other people, whereas supreme love is directed towards Bhagavan only, the supreme love. So, not only it's a supreme, that's it, because it's not very measurable. Now he's saying that bhakti is amruta swarupacha. It is the nature of amruta, nature of immortality. So immortality means all the time present. And but what is the gain? What is the benefit of gaining such supreme love? Yat labdva puman siddho bhavati, amruta bhavati, trupto bhavati. He becomes a devotee who attains perfection, siddha, whatever he wants, he can get. And he gets immortality. And he's extremely satisfied. Trupta. Don't you think that we deserve this satisfaction? And he said, Yat praptva na kinchit vanchati, na sochati, na dvesti, na ramate, nuchchai bhavati. See, this is a very important sloka. Na kinchit vanchati. That means the person who has attained this supreme love, he desires not even a little thing, because he is already satisfied with the supreme love. He has no grievances, he doesn't hate anybody, he always delights, and he doesn't want anything more. No, Sai Baba. Yat gyantva matto bhavati stabdo bhavati atmarama bhavati. This is a beautiful word they have used, atmarama bhavati. Having known that supreme love, yat gyantva, the man becomes matta. Matta means intoxicated. So intoxicated with what? The love of the Lord. People start dancing and then playing and whatever they want to do, because they don't find the presence of the surrounding and get, subdued by that. He becomes mad in love. Then in a stabdha bhavati, it's stunned. What is happening? This is love. And atmarama means he reveals within himself. Atmarama, he reveals ramati. Ramati means he revealing within himself. He will a person who is in love with the Lord, he will reveal within himself. In chapter 2, chapter 1, section 2, it comes that the main thing comes. Sa na kamayavan. That love, that devotion, in that there is no sign of any desire. No kamayavan. And why there is no kamana? There is no kamana because nirodha rupatvat. Nature of restraint, nature of renunciation. This love is renunciation. It's giving up things. You pour your heart out to the Lord. You don't expect anything back from Him. And the next sutra, he explains what is that nirodha. Nirodhastu loka veda vyapara nyasa. The total giving up of loka and veda. Loka is the secular, the worldly things, And Veda is the spiritual or religious activities. You give up everything because you are in love with Allah. Okay? Tasmin ananyata tad virodhi su udasina. That ananyata word is used. Single pointed, wholehearted devotion to the Lord. There is nobody else. Ananyata. There is no two. One and only one Lord that I love. He is the supreme love. That nature of that renunciation is devotion to the Lord, wholehearted. There is nobody else. Single-minded devotion. And whatever comes against it or contrary to it, you become indifferent. There is no hate, there is no love. For others, let it be there. And then he explains, next sutra he explains what is that ananyata. Ananyata means anya asranam tyaga. You give up the asraya of anything else. That means all other supports you give up. You take support of him only. Bhagavan is the only support. Nobody else. That is what is the ananyata is. Then only you will have the love that will be ananyata. Okay. Bhakti is the desire, the nature of desirelessness because of nirodha, because of restraint. And what is nirodha? Nirodha is ananyata. And what is ananyata is anya asraya tyaga. So step by step he has explained. You give up all of the asrayas, you take the support of only Bhagavan whom you love most. And then he explains again. Loka vedesu tat anukula asaranam tat virodesu udasinata. So you perform all actions of secular as well as religious. Those functions which are agreeable to your love for the Lord. See, there will be many types of functions in the world and as well as for religious functions, the puja, pata. There are many different types will be there. There are sadhanas, multiple sadhanas there. But you will not do everything. You will do only those sadhanas, those functions which are congenial to him, which are in line of his thought. And all others, you will be indifferent. Now comes the next sutra, which we'll study. Sutra 12. Bhavatu nischayam dharayat urdhvam shastra rakshanam. Bhavatu nischayat dharayat urdhvam shastra rakshanam. Bhavatu means what? Let it be. Let it happen. Nischaya means sthira. It's a commitment. Dharayat means say druda. You are fixed. You are sure of that. Urdhvam. Urdhvam means after that or beyond that. Shastra Rakshanam. Protection of the scriptures, teachings. What does it mean? See, this is called sutra. Very concise, few words, and that takes out a lot of meaning. What is this sutra? That a devotee who is having the supreme love for the Lord, he is established in the Lord, and he is having ananya bhakti, and he has no other asraya. Kaya, mana, vacha, buddha, he is devoted to the Lord, wholehearted devotion, and is committed, is convinced and committed for that devotion. So after he has decided and he is following, he is experiencing to live that life of wholehearted devotion, he is established that. Then what does he do? That means he is a well-established Bhakta. What is his function after that? A Bhakta which now he is not fluctuating in his mind. He is already established in the thought that he will be a Bhakta for life. He is absolutely convinced of his path. Then what does he do after that? His only function is Shastra Rakshanam. What is Shastra Rakshanam? Protection of the scriptural teachings. After he is convinced of his bhakti. So for sadhaka like this, it is said Shastra Rakshanam. Protection of the Shastras. This protection is not a physical protection. It's like you were saying, in our old times of family, they used to keep the Bhagavad Gita wrapped around with a red cloth and kept it. Or Puranas, Bhagavatam, they keep it, वो कपड़ा में बांध के एकदम रख देते हैं, पूजा कर देते हैं उसको. And that is not Shastra Rakshan. You are not physically protecting. I mean, it's not required that you physically protect the Shastras. It is the protection of the teachings, the values, and the do's and don'ts. Nidhi, vidhi, nisheda. What is to be done, what is not to be done. How to conduct, what not to do. All these are the Shastra. It is called vidhi, nisheda. Do's and don'ts. So, once those values are protected, it is, you know that because now you are a established, convinced Bhakta. You know what to do, what not to do. You will not do wrong things because it has become your habit. So, then what you do? How do you protect the Shastras? Or what is your job after that? Your job, when you have already established, you should engage in Shastra Rakshana. And this comes only when you are convinced, when you are Nishchaya. Bhavatu Nishchaya. You are convinced, you are committed, your determination is fully valid. There is no fluctuating opinions. I will pay my attention to Sri Krishna or to Shivji or to Vishnu. What is, all these things have stopped. You are devoted to one Lord and one Bhagavan, and that is without any second thoughts. You are convinced, you are determined, you are committed. That is called Bhavatu Nishchaya. I don't know if some of us have come to that state in Bhakti or in Jnana also. But that Nishchaya, Drida, in Jnana say, Drida Jnana. That means you are fully established in the knowledge, the Vedantic knowledge. And Vedantic knowledge is Aham Brahmasmi. After that, nothing. That means after Nididasana also, you have come to understand that. Nishchaya. Nishchaya and Dadhyam. Not only Nishchaya, Dadhyam, and drida, firmness. So a person who has learned the path of devotion is determined to follow the path. But when you are following the path, there is always a right way and a wrong way. What is to be done, what is not to be done. Anything that you do, any profession you take, maybe you are an engineer, a doctor, or any profession for that matter, you have do's and don'ts. What is the right way to do? What is the wrong way to do? Same way in the spirituality, in devotion, there are right methods and wrong methods. Just small things. When you do puja or pana, you are doing it the right hand, isn't it? So will you do the left hand? Very crude thing. Will not offer with the left hand. Because that is our sanskara. That is there in the Shastra. You may not have read the Shastra, but it is in the sanskara only. So, that right and wrong, who has prescribed it? It is Shastra. So, Shastra has given you the knowledge. So, that's why these rules you should follow. What is Shastra? Shastra means Sasanat Trayate iti Shastra. Remember, right now, Sasanat Trayate iti Shastra. शासनात मीन्स शासन करके, ऐसा नहीं कि छोड़ दो. Like we discipline a child, same way Shastra also disciplines you. You cannot be a Bhagavan, you cannot be a sensuous, you cannot be a indulgent person. Within the rules, you will enjoy, not go beyond that. So here, Shastras means in this sutra, it means because we are following the Bhakti Marga, Bhakti, we were talking about the Bhaktis. So here Shastra means Bhakti Shastra. Okay. And the Bhakti Shastra, it says whom to do Bhakti, where to do Bhakti, when to do Bhakti, how much to do that. All that is, rules are there, guidance is there. You are already following it by your own conduct and by your abhyasa. You are following the rules and regulations of the Bhakti Marga. You have done Adhyanam and you have done Anupranitam. That means you have studied and you have also following it. So now, when you do Shastra Rakshanam, when you want to protect the Shastras, you have to do two more things. You have to do Adhyapana and teach them, You have to tell others also. And also make others follow it. What is the purpose of this? This way, the teachings of the Shastra will be propagated. Shastra is protected means the teachings, the values, will be protected and it will be propagated. Someone can say, oh, I can read the Shastras, I can understand it. Why should I listen to somebody? Why should somebody teach me? I'm an intelligent person. I'll do according to my own and fancies. I don't have to follow the Shastras. You have seen, you have understood that for every subject, you need a guru. Be it mathematics or maybe physics or even history or geography, you need a guru. So that's why spirituality, where the Shastra is much more subtle, you need a guru more than anybody else. For us speakers, we are all seekers. Seekers means mumukshus. You are moving on the path. For us, the scriptures are the main. That is the rule book. And that is also the pramanam. That means if you have doubts anywhere, you fall back on the scriptures. You must have heard so many great persons saying, no, whenever you are in doubt, you open the Bhagavad Gita and see the sloka and read it, understand it. That will be paving the way for your clearance of the doubt, or it will solve the problem that you are facing. That is the importance of a Shastra. Shastra is Vishwato Mukha. Like that, it is looking from different angles. It is not only one side, it is not a research paper. It is a Vishwato Mukha. It is looking from different angles, different ideas. For us, we must follow the scriptures, and the scriptures will protect us. Dharmo rakshati rakshataha. Dharma, the conduct we do, you follow the dharma and it will protect you. So once you have decided to walk the path of spirituality, you follow the injunctions of the Shastras. What they say, you must do. This is also mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Karya Vivasthito Gyantva Shastra Vidhanoktam Karma Kartumi Haryasi. Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Karya Vyavasthito Gyantva Shastra Vidhanoktam Karma Kartumi Haryasi. Bhagavad Gita 16:24. Therefore, the scripture is the authority as regards to determination of what to do and what is to be done, what is not to be done. After understanding your duty as prescribed in the scriptural injunctions, you ought to perform your duty diligently. This is what is being said in the Bhagavad Gita 16th chapter. Okay. So that's why this sutra says, once you are convinced, Bhavatu Nischaya, once you are convinced that this is the right path for me, then you don't live a licenseless life. So there is a meaning for all sadhakas like us in this sutra. It is not necessary that only it is meant for bhaktas, for all sadhakas. Once you are convinced, once you are established in spirituality, you protect speeches, the scriptures, the shastras. Meaning, you spread the knowledge. You spread the knowledge and the meaning of the shastras to others. You have seen many people who do not have knowledge or even half knowledge of dharma or jnana. They don't have, but they spread it as if they are the panditas. Half-wit. They have studied little bit, but they keep on teaching. That way, they harm the society more than they can help. So their meaning is misinterpreted by them. So misunderstood scriptures can cause more damage to the society than non-understanding also. You have seen this. The the world is full of strife. What is happening in Bangladesh? or in anywhere else in the world, you see how without understanding the scriptures and the teachings of the preceptors, we fight with each other. Why to talk about other religions? In our religions also, many uh, many people, they create divisions. I pray Vishnu, so I am a Vaishnavite. I pray Shivji, I am a Saivite. I am a Shakta. I pray the Ganesh, Durga, or Shakti. Shakti Devi, I pray of Shakta. I am a Advaita. I am a Vishishta Advaita. I am a Dvaita. All these divisions are created in our society itself. The other day I had been to Puri, there was some function. So there are some Brahman bhojan was going on. So I was offering them, tikka and tilak and that lagate pehle. Then before you give the dakshina. So by mistake I put, and Vishnu means I was putting chandan and then I put some sindur also. Oh, that means how did you know? No, I am a Vaishnavite. I will not take sindur. I'll take only the chandan. It's like that, there's so much of divisions are there. I am a Vaishnavite, I am a Saivite. A whole in the Jagannath temple complex itself, there is Shiv Mandir. There is Mata Ki Mandir, there is Jagannath, Vishnu is there, everybody there. There is oneness. You have to think of the macro level. And that is what the Vedanta preaches. It is not one God or many gods. It is one and only one. That is what the Advaita is. So once you are spiritual, once you are established in spirituality, it's your duty to spread the knowledge. Many people, many Mahatmas act differently once they are established. In Jnana or Bhakti or whatever, in the spirituality they are established, many Mahatmas conduct themselves in different ways. We have seen how the Jnanis do. Some people may sit in the Himalayas contemplating all the time so that they have their resurrection or they get mukti. Some people walk down the path and they preach. They do Gita, Jnana, Yajna, like Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda. Before, I'm very proud to say that before Swami Chinmayananda, the Mahatmas and the Rishi, they are not teaching in English. Say, we are able to talk and teach, and because you must change with the time of the society. As the society changes, you must change. The religion must change. It must adapt to the changing society. So he ensured. He said that I am a English English student, so I know English, and the whole of India people, the educated people are speaking in English, and if I talk to them in English, then the impact on the society will be more. And he said, I don't want to wait in the Himalayas and wait for the people, the devotees to come and listen to me. I'll go to their states, to their city, to their homes. This is how Bhagavad Gita spread. This is how the Upanishads spread throughout the world. Before that, it was not like that. Even Swami Vivekananda was also not doing the teaching in public. Even though he was speaking English, he did not do it teaching in public like that. Jnana Yajnas. So, if once you are firmly established in the Bhakti or in the Jnana, it is your duty to spread the message of the scriptures to create peace and harmony. It's for the good of the society, not to divide the society. As I told you, don't be sectarian. Don't create sects that I'll do this, not that. You follow your chosen path, but all other paths also merge with you. Once it's your You are clear, you are convinced on your path, then spread the knowledge, ensuring that scriptures remain valid, alive, and good for continuity from generation to generation. With this, we complete Sutra number 12. Then we move on to Sutra number 13. Sutras are very small ones. Anyatha patitya asankaya. Anyatha patitya asankaya. Anyatha, or else. Patitya asankaya. There is a fear for fall. Asanka means there is a question, there is a fear that patita ho jaye, means it will fall. Or else there is a fear of fall from the spiritual path. Anyatha means what? Unless you do the protection of the Shastras, unless you spread the knowledge and it percolates to the next level of next generation, unless it spreads to the other world or other people, there is a fear that the knowledge will fall, the Shastra will lose its importance in the society. So now we move on to explanation of Sutra 13. So in the Sutra 12, we said a person who is spiritually evolved, who is established, he should protect and spread the knowledge and the values of the Shastras, the do's and don'ts, the injunctions of the scriptures. Otherwise, what is that otherwise? If you don't do, what will happen? It is anyatha, or else, otherwise. Otherwise, there is a possibility that the seeker will fall from the grace, and also there will be no propagation, there is no continuation of the Shastras. A spiritual seeker, a devotee proceeds on the path. See, devotee is a very you cannot predict his behavior or conduct. A devotee becomes so intoxicated with love. Matto bhavati. Matta ho jate. That means he loses himself in devotion. He's so devoted that he merges with the Bhagavan. Merges in devotion to the love. He becomes mad in love. You must have noticed that such people, they lose cognizance of the surrounding outside, the worldly surroundings, because other people are, they are in this world, but the devotee rises to another level, another world. His mind is not limited by the worldly limitations. So at such times, you must have seen in these days, like yesterday, we had a function for this Jayanti, Krishna Jayanti. Then after, it's a Hare Krishna paper. Those people are done. After that, Kirtan and all that. So there was the devotees started dancing. That's a normal thing. The temple also, if you go after the pravachan, after the bhajan kirtan, people dance with joy. That is the devotion. And that time there is no restriction on the thinking and what they do, what they don't do. So that type of devotion, there is no injunction. They don't know. They don't keep the limit. But at such times, they don't adhere to the vidhi vidhana of the scriptures. Sometimes, during that period. But he can be forgiven during that period because he is not conducting himself as per the worldly knowledge, as per the scriptural injunctions. He is not conducting that period only when he is madly in love with the Lord. He is not in his senses. But after that, any devotion like this, they are not madly in love all the time. So they fall back to the normal. So after that, they should follow the rules, regulations. They should follow the injunctions of the scriptures, what to do and what not to do, and conduct himself in line with the Shastras. Yes, no. So he should conduct it. Oh, madness is not all the time. Madness is only when you are absolutely, immersed in that love. But you come back. When you come back, you should fall back into the vidhi vidhana of the Shastras. It is the bounden duty of the devotee to live and practice the do's and don'ts, the vidhana, the rules as per the Shastras. Otherwise, what will happen? He himself will fall from grace. Suppose he does some misconduct during his time of supreme devotion and whatever when he's madly in love with the devotion. So he can do something which can be construed as not the right way, right conduct from the outside, from the worldly point of view. But as long as he's doing that, it's okay. I mean, he's madly in love, he can be forgiven. But after he recluses himself from that state, he cannot continue to misbehave. He cannot continue to break the rules. So, what happens is normally a seeker or a devotee or a mokshu, all of us in the initial stages, all of us have desires, we have kamanas, we are attracted towards, our mind is attracted to the sense objects, we fall in love with that. But because of that, we also like to have enjoy the sensual pleasures also. Same way with the devotee. He has already enjoyed such sensual pleasures of the sense subjects before he become a devotee. But if he continues to not to follow the Shastri rules, even when he is not in a madly in love with the Lord, his conduct will be construed as misconduct, and he will be falling in the he will fall from grace. He fall from the path of spiritual glory. You cannot continue to do misconduct in the worldly life just because you are a devotee. When you are in that state of madly in love, that matta bhavati, that state is you can do something wrong. But when you are back into normal, you have to follow the rules of the Shastras. So, if that exalted devotee follows stricture of the Shastras for conduct, then it will be, there are two things. So he can continue to follow the good conduct of the Shastras, he cannot continue also. But if he doesn't continue, then he falls from grace from the people around him, and also the spiritual glory that he is a Bhakta, he'll be admonished by the people. But if he follows himself, then it's like an insurance against the downward movement of the person while in love, while in madly in love. If the seeker projects that he is madly in love with the Lord, and then he indulges in activities which is contrary to the scriptural injunctions, and he indulges himself in against the scriptural duties and conducts, he will of course fall from the glory that he is in a profound Bhakta. His glory, his grace, his poise, the peace, the sense of fulfillment, all will vanish. In such cases, his mind will find some convenient alibi. Oh, because of this happened. That alibi is for indulging. He'll give some explanation and reasoning for disobeying the healthy injunctions of the Shastras. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said in chapter 16:23, Ya Shastra Viddhimutsrujyam Vartate Kamakarata Na sa siddhirma vapnoti na sukham na param gatim Ya Shastra Vidhimutsrujyam Ya Shastra Vidhimutsrujya Vartate Kamakarata Na sa siddhirma vapnoti na sukham na param gatim. So a devotee like him, if he ignoring all the precepts, all the instructions of the scriptures, if he acts under the impulsion of the passions, he does not attain perfection, he doesn't attain happiness, he does not attain that supreme goal. The goal, maybe bhakti, maybe jnana, maybe vasana, whatever the goal. If he doesn't conduct himself according to the rules of the scriptures, he will not attain anything. न स सिद्धिर्मवाप्नोति, तो सिद्धि नहीं मिलता है. न सुखम न परम गति, तो सुख नहीं मिलता है, उसको परागति नहीं मिलता है. Supreme goal, paragati means the supreme goal of moksha. So for all sadhakas, when you are determined to follow the path, you have to also follow the rules and regulations, the do's and don'ts of the Shastras. And you walk the path, that way you will also protect the Shastras. There is no partial things. I will follow this much, or I will be only Bhakta this much, and then I will do my other sensual things. No, you have to give your 100% to that Bhakti or Jnana or spiritual propagation. Okay, so that's why this sutra says Anyatha Patitya Asankyatha. Otherwise,